This is a Mapo Tofu, a spicy Chinese dish of a silky tofu in a ground meat gravy. This is not quite an authentic recipe, but it's how I like to make this, and it's super easy to make, and it's one of my go-tos to eat with rice. So let's do this. Let's talk about the tofu first. I like to use silky soft tofu. You want to gently flip it out, gently, or else it becomes this ugly mess, and then cut it into cubes just like this. Super easy, and then keep this to one side. One of the key ingredients in Mapo Tofu would be Doubanjiang, or a Chinese spicy bean paste. These are readily available these days at loads of supermarkets. There's not an exact replacement for Doubanjiang, but a close alternative is taucheo, or salted soybeans. This is what taucheo looks like. Add the taucheo to a bowl like this, and for the spice, I like to add chili flakes and then mash it together with a fork just like this. This is going to add that similar bean umami that the Doubanjiang adds to the Mapo Tofu. Next, I have to have Sichuan peppercorns to add a numbing tingly sensation. To prepare the Sichuan peppercorns, to a dry pan, toast the peppercorns over low heat until it smells fragrant. Once you have that, using a spice grinder or a pestle and mortar like I have here, grind the Sichuan peppercorns to a powder, and the peppercorns are ready for use. If you can't find the Sichuan peppercorns, then no worries, just don't include it in this recipe. Okay, let's finally cook. First of all, we're going to fake the chili oil. Get some oil in the pan without the heat turned on, and in the cold oil, I like to add some dried chilies as well as fresh chilies. Then turn on the heat, and you want to keep a low heat for this. You want to let the chilies infuse into the oil for about 5 minutes or so. Stir occasionally so that it doesn't burn, or else it will be bitter. You're going to start to see the oil turn red or sort of a darker, deeper color just like this, and that's how we know it's ready for use. You should also be able to smell the chilies. It should have this really nice toasty smell. Remove the chilies from the oil, and you want to keep the chilies to one side. We'll be using it again later on. Now crank the heat up to medium to high, and then add the minced ginger as well as some minced garlic. Saute all of that in the oil until fragrant. Add in minced meat next, and you want to let that cook. I'm using minced beef here because it adds so much flavor without needing to season prior, but any minced meat of your choice will work here. Once the minced meat cooks, add the doubanjiang or the taucheo, some stock, or you can also just use water, and stir that through. Then you want to allow this mixture to come to a boil. Once it comes to a bubbly boil just like this, add the ground Sichuan peppercorns, the chilies, and stir through with a cornstarch slurry just to thicken this up. Once the gravy thickens, gently add the cubed tofu and gently stir to coat the tofu with the gravy. So you want to be gentle because the tofu can break quite easily at this point. Once the gravy bubbles and boils again, you want to give it a final garnish of spring onions or scallions, and our Mapo tofu is done. Super easy. And that was my quick and easy Mapo tofu with a little quick cheat trick for shortcut chili oil. I really hope you try this spicy, full of umami dish. It's so good with rice, y'all. So give this a go, and bye! If you love this Mapo tofu recipe, then you're gonna love any of this next.